I'm telling you, sometimes you got to think out of the box to get people's attention these days. So today I'm going to tell you how to pop out of the screen. Would you mind? Thanks. Let's go. Okay, let's recreate this effect. First, some tips on filming. Number 1, shoot in 4K. This allows you to crop in if needed without losing much resolution. 2, I shot with a 35mm lens rather than something wider to minimize distortion at the edges when I wave my arms around. 3, knowing I need to mask myself out later, I don't want motion blur in my shot, which makes masking harder. So rather than shooting with the 180-degree shutter rule, I'm shooting at 24 frames per second, and I cranked my shutter up to somewhere around 1,000. That way each frame is more of a frozen shot and not blurry, which makes the process of masking much easier. And 4, I also made sure everything was well lit, which also makes the process of masking easier. This effect took 2 shots. For shot 1, I did a quick Google search for green screen, found a YouTube video of a typical green screen color, and made it full screen on my monitor. I then framed my shot so there's enough around the sides of my main computer monitor so that when I stick my arms out to the side, there's still plenty of space for my arms to fill up. And I recorded this shot for roughly 20 seconds, knowing I'd only need it for 10 or 15. For the second shot, I filmed myself in front of a white background, at least mostly white, so that I stand out, which again makes masking easier. I composed the shot to be fairly wide so that when I extend my arms, most of my body is still in the frame. I then set my water bottle on a tripod with a flathead on it so I can adjust the height. I then recorded a few different takes, adjusting the height of the water bottle each time, so I can both pick the best take and also a take where the water bottle looks like it's at the most realistic height as if it were sitting on the desk in front of the monitor when I blend them together later. Also, when I originally reach for the water bottle, I reach up high so that it looks like my arm is trying to clear the bottom of the computer screen. I bring both shots into Davinci Resolve, putting the shot of my best performance on the bottom and the shot of my computer setup on top, and then I trim the edges of the clip so they line up. Next, you'd want to do any color grading to your clips. In this case, I've already done that. I search OpenEffects for 3D keyer and drag it onto the clip with my computer setup. I make sure OpenEffects Overlay is selected, then click the dropper with the plus sign and draw a line over the green screen. However, you can still see the green reflecting on my speakers right here, so I grab the D-Spill slider and turn it up all the way, and the green reflections disappear. I then select the bottom layer and start to zoom in as well as adjust the height and the panning side to side until I feel like it makes sense proportionally, more or less. And as I adjust things, I temporarily disable and re-enable the top layer to make sure it looks like the water bottle can be seen, and also so it looks like it would be sitting on top of the desk in front of the computer screen. Next, we need my arms to go beyond the borders of the screen. So I option drag a copy of the bottom clip above the first 2. I make sure the playhead is somewhere on the clip and click on the Fusion page. I press Shift and the spacebar to bring up the search and type Magic. Then click the Add button to add Magic Mask so that it looks like this. I select a part of the clip where my arms are up in the air, then click the Butter button, then the dropper with the plus sign, and then draw a line inside the shape of my arms and my body. Then I select Matte. The Erode or Dilate setting adds or removes the sort of halo or feather around whatever is masked. I found reducing it to something like this makes the mask a little more clean and reduces the halo effect. I go back to tracking and click this double arrow button to track the mask in both directions. Looks like the mask worked. I go back to the edit page, and now you can see my arms stick out beyond the monitor. But now we need 2 more layers. One to keep my body from showing along the bottom of the computer screen, and another one to show the water bottle being in front of the monitor. So I option drag a copy of the computer monitor clip above the others, then I disable it since it's the last one we'll work on. I then option drag one more copy of the clip with me in it on top of that. I choose a specific color for each of these 2 clips to make them easier to identify once we're back in the color page. By the way, we're making individual layers for each of the individual parts of this effect so that we have flexibility for adjusting each of them independently. Now to make the water bottle layer, I select the top clip, make sure the playhead is over that clip, and go to the Fusion page. I press Shift and Spacebar, and Magic Mask is still selected from last time, so I just click Add. Then I click the Better button, then select the dropper with the plus sign, and draw a line over the water bottle. I go to Matte and reduce the Erode and Dilate setting to something like this. Then go back to tracking and track it in both directions. Looks like the track worked. Now the water bottle layer is complete. The final step is to mask off my body along the bottom of the computer screen using that second clip we disabled earlier. So I enable it, and remembering it's orange, I go to the color page. This dot here is orange, so I know I'm working on the right clip. I create a new node after any color grading I may have done. I click in the empty space and select Add Alpha Output and connect the blue dots to make this layer transparent using a mask. I zoom out of my image a bit so I have room around the sides, go to the window page, select the pen tool, and draw a line straight across the bottom of the computer monitor, then complete a box around the bottom side. Now I zoom in and make sure that the top line of the box I just drew is right in line with the bottom edge of the computer screen, and I adjust it until it's lined up. Now anything inside the box is being blocked and anything outside the box is being let through. So as I scrub through the timeline, you can see my arms come up out of the screen and to the sides and then disappear again when it goes behind the bottom of the computer screen. Now we just need my hand to pass through the bottom edge of the screen when I reach for the water bottle. So I move the playhead until right when my hand is about to cross the bottom of the screen. I click the keyframes button and enable keyframes on corrector 7, since our mask node is the 7th one. Then I advance forward by a frame and start adding points that allow my hand to reach past the bottom of the computer screen. I keep advancing frame by frame and adjusting the bottom line so that my hand can be seen grabbing the water bottle. And then I put the line back along the bottom of the screen as the water bottle is pulled into it. Since the water bottle layer is the top clip, we can still see it even after I pull it into the screen and back down below the edge, which we don't want. So I go back to the edit page and cut the top clip before I pull the water bottle back down below the bottom edge of the screen. And once I do that, now the water bottle disappears as I pull it back down below the edge. And lastly, if we go to the end, you can see I come out of the side of the computer screen as I walk away, which we don't want. So we just go to the third layer from the bottom, which was the mask of my body and arms, and we trim it to just before I walk off to the side. This way I'll end up disappearing behind the edge of the computer screen as I walk away. Export that bad boy and you are good to go. And there we go. Oops, here's your water back. If you want to see more videos with out-of-the-box kind of thinking, check out this video right here where you can learn how to make a fractured time lapse. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you in the next one.